We forgot one thing about Joey
What's that?
when we brought him home. She was looking for a puppy.
She was looking for a puppy.
Had him in the, put him in the bed, and she's looking. It's a puppy, right?
Yeah, you didn't like a puppy, and that, and then you got where you thought we're telling you it's a baby brother that he'll play with you and all of that. So you would take your toys and you throw them in the crib with him and wake him up, or you'd go. That's what she did. She'd go wake him up. That's right. She'd go in and like shake the crib, and when I'd get him down to sleep, and he didn't like being touched because he had jaundice. So there wasn't a whole lot of holding him until he got a little bit older. He was about a month old. I would have to hold him on my lap and feed him like this, where he's not cuddled, because he hurt. It hurt him.
And you could take his legs,
Yes.
like this is his feet, right? And
His one.
turn it
All the way around. Yeah, he wore a brace with a shoe with a brace for a year.
Oh, wow.
A special shoe. We had to have a special shoe made, and because his foot would literally turn completely around.
Wow.
And he still has problem with that ankle. That's the one he hurts most of the time. And when he does something and he twists or anything like that. But yeah, he had to have a shoe that had the metal braces that came up and that for a year.
So how did we react to her? Cindy?
Yeah, you were all excited, because you knew I was having a baby, and that you'd listen to her.
You understood it then.
You understood it, yeah. And you would talk to her in my belly, and you were all excited about it. It just.
What about Joey?
He was excited.
Hello in
too.
there.
Yeah, he was excited too. And that there was going to be a new one. And see, at the time, we didn't know girl, boy, or whatever.
Right.
And so he was hoping for a boy. And so, I don't think he was too disappointed, but he wasn't real happy. He wanted a brother instead of a sister, because he already had a big sister that picked on him, and that until you were a teenager, and when he started picking on you, and it's like taught her how to karate him, and that so that he would.
Let me add to this one. So he would come and karate kick with his foot. He'd just come back and he'd kick his foot. He got this close to my nose, and I didn't like it. So the next time Dad had pulled me off. He said, come here. He said, watch this wrestling. I said, I'm not interested in wrestling. No, come here, watch this wrestling. So he said, watch this guy, see what he does, and you can do that to Joey next time. So he pulls the head down, puts it between the knees, and then he grabs him around the belly and lifts up, and then he, like kind of falls down and does
Power driver.
Yeah. And so next time Joey came, that's well, I didn't drop him, but it's exactly what I did. I had him up like that so fast. And he quit.
He quit it, yeah.
He quit messing with me.
Yeah, and he would really do it to you.
When that time the month.
Yes, he would. He knew that he could get you then. Yeah, but that's what he did with her, was the karate, and he didn't miss. He hit her.
Oh.
That's when we were on Kerfoot. We got it on video.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah,
On film.
On film, yeah. Not whatever it was we had back then, that he got her. And you always would get the pots and pans out of the cabinets.
And Romper Room told me
to.
Watch.
Yeah, you did. You watched Romper Room.
So Romper Room is the best TV show for kids, because it was like, go into your mom's kitchen and go grab those pots and pans, and hey, the lids can make cymbals, and you can go along and clang them together, and we can get a band. Or you can get a pot and go get her wooden spoon, and you can bang on it, and it's the drum. So I was doing that all the time.
And then, do you remember that there on Kerfoot Street, we had the refrigerator, the sink, and the stove, and there was a space about like this here, and I had put a metal cart in there, like a kitchen metal cart that you put. It had the layers, and that you would get in there and stay in there and hide. And you hid underneath the table thinking we didn't see you because you couldn't see us, you couldn't see our face.
Because your head was up here.
Yeah, and you would sit there and we're like, all right, Sheila, and you'd like
Wouldn't move.
wouldn't move, and it's like, we see you, and you'd look at like, how'd you see me, but you were like 2 years old and 3 years old at that time, and that so.
So, Dad, how did you wake us up in the mornings on the weekends? Remember?
How you woke him up?
Oh, with a poem. Wake you up with a poem. I can't remember them. I probably couldn't
Shining,
remember
so you
the
gotta
next
rise
day.
or something.
So you would wake us up in the morning, and what I remember hearing, I hear you walk down the hallway, you'd stop, you touch the handle, and then I'm sitting there, okay, here comes Dad. So I waited. The door opens, 4-line poem, the door closes, and you leave. And you did that every Saturday morning for us.
Yeah.
And of course, we kind of got aggravated because we wanted to sleep in. But that's one of the stories I tell my kids all the time.
Yeah.
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 With
All
the little-
right, so I remember one of your poems.
You remember it?
Yeah.
I'll be a daffodil and you'll be a rose, and if you don't smell good, I'll punch you in the nose.
Really? A lot of time, some of it was like rise and shine, and you'd say something, rise and shine, the day is something or other, but it was always, you always
Well,
come
that's
up
what it
with
was.
that.
He'd walk up to the door, and that's when he would take the pause to let something pop in his head.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's amazing to me that you could do that.
Mhm.
But every morning, every week, every Saturday is just something different. But it was like that pause. I said, okay, here he comes. We got the pause. Now we got the poem. Close the door. Go on.
Mhm.
It was time to get up and go to school so you can be smart because we don't want no food.
Yeah, stuff like that.
I mean, I don't know if that was one of them, but that was
Stuff like
basically
Stuff like
what it
that.
was.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, because he was still writing poems at the time. Yeah. And that, so.
Well, one thing I remember, you were always cheerful and happy in the morning. Good morning. We'd get up. Good morning.
Yes.
Okay, so I had Jesse. Came to your house. He was what? Not even a year old yet.
Mm.
I had him in the high chair. I was feeding him breakfast. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. You come walking through, and I said, "Well, good morning." And you looked at me like, "Don't talk to me yet. I haven't had my coffee." And I was shocked because I had never seen you like that. So I said, "Okay, leaving you alone." But that surprised me.
Yeah, because I'm usually the one. It's like, don't mess with me until I've had my coffee.
Well, we always saw him after
He
he
had
had
his
his
coffee.
coffee, so we didn't know.
Yeah.
And, then it was
And you were
like-
in the kitchen, huh?
I was
Yeah,
Jesse's in
Jesse's in
high
his
chair. I
chair.
mean, he's 4 or 5 months old, and he's
Mhm.
already awake, and
Yeah.
Dad's come, "Don't talk to me yet. I need my coffee. Gotta wake up. Read my newspaper then."
Yeah.
So,
But you see, y'all got a lot of them memories.
Mm-hmm.
so let's back up
Back up.
to when you were a kid in West Virginia. So what are some of the memories you have of living in West Virginia when you were little?
Well, I was born in West Virginia in a place they called the Barn. It's close to E. Jerry's, just south of Beckley. I was the second one because I had to kick my sister out 30 minutes before I came out. She never let me forget that. She's always older than me, a half an hour, right? She used to beat the stuffings out of me all the time we were growing up. I remember that.
She
My dad
remembers
got
that.
tired of seeing bruises, well, like I got on me now. So he bought a pair of boxing gloves one year for us for Christmas. Didn't make a difference. She still beat the stuffings out of me. Right? But we lived in a coal mining company, or a building, town. There were 13 houses. Everybody was the same. There wasn't no rich guy and poor guy stuff. Everybody was poor. We hunted for our food. We left there when I used to go up and spend time in the summertime with my grandpa. Grandpa
Okay,
Walker.
you gotta, being there in the coal mine, you gotta tell what you did for recreation. Where did you climb and where did you slide
Oh, we
down?
called up in the coal tipple, or back in the coal mines themselves on the weekends when they weren't working, and well, we got black.
It's like White Sands hills, sand. Yeah.
And the slate dumps, that's what,
Slate
what
dumps,
you're
that's
talking
right, yeah.
about. It's where they put all the stuff that ain't no good.
Excess.
So we'd play on them. You could slide down them things for a long way. Just like out there in White Sands. What did we do? We made stilts to walk on. We'd go out in the woods and get us a tree yay big that had a fork in it, and that was where we would put our foot when we was walking with the stilts. We'd get one pole, and we would jump from rock to rock to rock, like pole vaulters. We would jump from the back porch to the toilet.
That's outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Outside club.
outhouse.
What was school like?
Yeah, school was pretty good. I can't even remember much except like in the 5th grade. And I was the pitcher for the softball team. And my coach named Shelby. So that's why I become the pitcher. Because he liked my name. And we had music class. I always wound out with the little,
Triangle.
what's that little triangle thingy? It's about this big. And it had a ding, ding. Wasn't as big as a pencil. That was my job. Because I didn't have any rhythm or know nothing about the notes. And say, okay, Shelby, whenever I point to you, you ting that thing. Okay. Ting. And that was it. That was my music. 7th grade, I got to go to shop. That's where woodworking was at. I learned how to print type. Put the letters, or the letters for print. I learned how to solder like candle holders out of aluminum.
Oh, what?
Aluminum.
Aluminum.
He can't say that.
What was the other one? Oh, electricity. We hook up doorbells and stuff. That was our training. That was part of the program that was in shop class. And I enjoyed that. I didn't enjoy. Oh, I enjoyed recess. What else did we do? Oh, went to school barefooted. I wore bib overalls. Sometimes I wore a shirt. Sometimes I didn't wear a shirt.
And your lunch was?
Sometimes my lunch was a biscuit and a slice fried tater. Sometimes it was just a cold piece of bologna on a biscuit. We didn't have bread like sandwich bread. Sometimes it would be a chunk of cornbread and a fried tater. Sometimes we'd have a piece of cake. Mother would make a cake. And a big griddle, yay long. She would, for our birthday, she would make it, because Bob's birthday was the 15th, and mine and Sis's was the 16th. So she would make a 3-layer cake in that thing. That lasted a long time. So we'd take one of them. One day, I took something, I don't remember what it was, but I didn't like it. This one guy, James, whatever his last name was, he had this chocolate cake about yay big with white stuff in the middle of it. And I thought, my eyes got big, and I looked at James, I'll trade you this for that. Oh, okay. Man, I was happy, and then I bit into it. That white stuff was cream cheese. Oh, I remember that. I didn't eat no more. And it was a long time. That's another reason why I don't like
Sour cream.
Sour cream, cheesecake.
Cheesecake, yeah.
I still won't eat cheesecake. Kane was his last name. Kane. James Kane. Yeah, see there? The old memory comes back sometimes.
So what types of things did you and your family do together?
Eat.
Like, just eat? So, I mean, did you like play any games? Did you do anything?
We had puzzles.
Okay.
Jigsaw puzzles, 500 pieces. And we'd put it on a table. And as people walked by, they would stop and then they would find a piece, and then they would go do something else. We didn't all sit down together.
You played checkers, though, with your grandfather.
Checkers with my grandpa.
Yeah.
Oh. Ride the horse.
You had to haul water up to the house.
Haul water from the spring down at the bottom of the hill. I used to carry it with a little lard bucket. We had lard. It'd come in buckets about this high. I don't know how much, might be a gallon. That's what I had to carry. My job was to carry that up. Arnold and Bob had a bigger water bucket. So when Mother washed, that's what we did almost all day. To get water to wash in, then we had to get water to rinse in. Right there at East Erie, where we camped and stuff. Right there. We had, I don't know, but I was going to say a while ago, I stayed with my grandpa when I was 9, 10, 11 years old. I would stay up there for a month in the summertime, and he taught me a whole bunch of stuff.
Where did he live?
He lived outside of Beckley.
Okay.
Just a few miles up the road from where we was at. I learned how to plow. I learned how to put the harness on a horse to hook up the plow. And the old horse was blind in one eye. The only way you could catch him is somebody be standing over there waving at the horse and just watching them, and the other person would sneak up on the blind side and catch her. Oh. Frisbees? You think these people with the plastic frisbees think that game was invented? No. We were doing that years ago. Cow pile.
Yep.
When it got dry, zoom, we'd see how far we could sell them things. Darts, we'd get a corn cob, a dry corn cob, and we'd put a nail on the end of it. And we'd catch this old rooster and pull some of his feathers and then we'd put them in the other end. That was our darts.
Oh.
We would throw them at the darts, and we had a big old circle in a barn. Oh, we did that. We played horseshoes, walnuts, English walnuts. English walnuts has got a shell on them, on the nut, and you got to get that off in order to put the nut up on the roof to dry out in the summertime or whenever it was. This shell was hard to get off, so we would hit it, put it on a rock and hit it with another rock. All right, now that juice splashes on you. So now we look like, well, the juice is brown, walnut, and now we're covered with walnut, and it won't come off. It won't come off. And we go to school like that. And a whole bunch of kids, well, you had to break the walnuts apart today, didn't you? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. And then we'd put them up on top of the porch, and Grandpa had a board going around the edge of it so they wouldn't roll off, and they would dry. Then we could crack them. We picked corn. Most of it was for the horses and the cows. When it dried, we had to take the shucks off and take the corn off the corn cob, because the corn cob was toilet paper. I'm serious. That's what we had a box in the outhouse that was the toilet paper.
When you run out of magazines or
When we ran out of Sears Roebuck magazine.
magazines, yep.
Anyway, they had red ones and white ones, corn cobs. So you would use a red one, and then you would use a white one to see if you needed to use another red one. That's a joke.
You didn't do that. No. They used magazines just like back in the old times.
Yeah. But that's Sears Roebuck catalog.
Yeah.
What else?
And then you went up to New York.
Oh, in 1952, we moved to New York.
You were what, 14?
No, we wasn't 13 yet. We celebrated the 13th birthday in North Tonawanda. Yep. So it was a culture shock with all that concrete. And I didn't know, I thought them houses was growing out of that concrete. I didn't know any better. We didn't see that stuff. And cold. And that's when I met Bill McCracken. And to this day, 2019, we still communicate with each other.
Oh, wow.
I just sent him a birthday, what do you call it? Twix? No, not
Email.
Twix.
Email.
No, on the
Text.
Facebook.
Oh, on Facebook.
Messenger.
Messenger.
Messenger. No, not the messenger. Just a
Yeah.
regular
Yeah,
on his
On
page.
Facebook, yeah.
Yeah.
On his page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, 80th birthday. Told him, welcome to the 80s. And what else? What else did we do? Went to school there.
So what did you do
The-
with McCracken?
Oh,
Yeah.
you don't know. Go into that.
Oh, yeah, you do. Come on. You can tell us the stuff that.
Well, we used to
Almost
go
not.
ice skating in the
Almost
wintertime. Instead of going to school, we'd go skating on the Erie Canal when it froze over. we'd deliver newspapers on a bicycle. That was fun. Try to ride a bike in 2 feet of snow. But we were 12, 13 years old. We'd try anything. What else did we do? What are you thinking of? Skipping school?
Well, that, yeah.
That's an everyday thing. Not
So
every
you
day.
worked when you were there in a factory. Why don't you talk about that?
Oh, that's when we moved to. I was
Lockport.
16 then.
Yeah.
But I worked before that. I worked in a meat market, and I was making 75 cents an hour, making big money.
And you were a caddy.
Oh yeah, well I was a caddy in there in West Virginia when I would be up there with my grandpa. Me and Kyle would go down to the golf course and we would caddy to go around, which was 9 holes. We'd get $1 carrying that big old bag of clubs around. And what, here we are, 10, 11 years old. And the bag was big as us. And roller skating, we'd go roller skating at MacArthur, West Virginia. The skating ring is still there. I think it's still got scratch marks on it where I was sliding and everything.
But he couldn't ice skate.
Oh, it's different.
Yeah, it is.
I couldn't roller skate either. But, we'd go hunting. I'd go rabbit hunting by myself. I was 9, 10 years old. And with a double barrel shotgun. And we had this good rabbit dog. She would chase these rabbits right almost in your lap. So she was coming around the top of the hill, and I could hear her barking, worse than Sophie here. And Dad was back down off the side. Look up in front of her, don't watch her. The rabbit's in front of her. So I turn and there's a rabbit. The shotgun almost knocked me down.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it would have if I'd had it on my shoulder. I didn't. I had it under my shoulder like this so I could shoot it. Squirrel hunting at a 22. We'd go squirrel hunting. Tim Walker has got that 22 now. I gave it to Jeff years ago because nobody wanted it. Orv didn't want it, Sis didn't want it. So I said, okay, give it to Tim. Tim didn't want it. Mike didn't want it. So that's the year we give it to Jeff up on the mountain. We had a little ceremony on it. Remember that? Oh,
That's why he's a sharpshooter. That's why he's gotten medals for it.
Yep.
So tell him about the one time you got drunk in Germany.
Oh, we were talking about that earlier.
Oh, were you?
I don't remember a lot about that, really.
Thanks, Cindy.
But it was.
Let her tell about it.
If I can remember this right, I don't know. We'll have to see. So we're in Germany, and so it's in 76, 77 is when we lived in this little German town called Unterballbach in West Germany. So he goes off with his buddies, and they know he doesn't drink.
It was an Air Force
It was
party.
Air Force party.
German
Okay.
Air Force party.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So he goes off drinking, or with his buddies, and we're all in bed, or at least I'm in bed, and then we just start hearing this, la 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 la, and this singing and all this kind of stuff, and we get up and we come running out. He comes in and he's just happy and singing, and his
German song.
yeah, and his tie has been clipped because they cut his tie off. I think they ripped off your
Chevrons.
chevrons. You had a bunch of other things that were like pinned to you, so you had like their pins
They're
pinned,
German stripes and
Yeah.
pinned to, and we're all like, "Oh my gosh, Dad's drunk! We've never seen this before." And he's just happy and happy, and Mom's like, "Shh, y'all, go back to bed, go back to bed." And so we all go back to bed, and we're just giggling, and he's sitting there laughing, and then pretty soon we hear like, I don't feel good. I don't feel good. And then we can hear him in the bathroom.
Yeah.
and that was the second time I ever got drunk.
Yeah.
The other time was in the South Pacific when I was 19. That we went out to one of the other islands and had a company party.
But wasn't
got-
that German party the sharpshooting that you were shooting against the Germans? The competition type thing?
No, not the party.
Oh, the party.
It
But
was,
before the party.
Yeah, the match was before the party was, but this was a yearly party, and you was in this big Air Force mess hall, and they brought the pig in. They brought the pig in, and you're supposed to pet it and say thank you or something, whatever, because that was one they was going to kill to have sausage made out of it. So everybody was petting it and thank you and goodbye and whatever it was. Auf Wiedersehen. And then they would take it back there in the back and they'd fix the sausage. That's what we eat for supper.
Okay.
Didn't tell you that, huh?
No.
Well, that's